What is going on, guys? It's your favorite anime protagonist, it's Josh MV. Today, we have something that we have been waiting for 86 days. No pun intended, I'm pretty sure this literally took 86 days for this to come out. 86 details and symbolisms you missed season 1 part 3. Episode 23 analysis. Now I will put my link to the reactions of part 1 and part 2 in the description down below. I will also to Control All QQ's video in the description down below, because shout out to this man for even making this is insane. These are actually pretty good and they pretty much help out with trying to figure out some things that you may have missed. It's crazy even coming back to this because I've been through a lot ever since 86. Channel's been going everywhere. Shout out to all the OGs who were there watching my 86 reactions. That pretty insane. Now we have a lot of new people coming from Genshin Impact, which I recently started playing a while ago. So this anime channel is going everywhere. We're getting love from all anime, and it's insane to think that it's only been about a month. I've last watched 86, really 2 months actually, since April. So yeah, it's been quite a while. I pretty much remember most of the things that happened in episode 23. But with that being said, shout out to Control All QQ for making part 3 because we've been waiting for this. And with that being said, let's get right into it.
This video contains anime-only spoilers.
Yes.
Before watching this video, check out the first 2 parts I covered in this 3-part video series of 86.
We already did.
The first season of 86 is told in 3 distinct parts. Part 1 was a setup. It established the world building, character motivations, and created emotional investment for the audience. Part 2 created tension and drama and set up the stage for the inevitable meeting.
I like how he was
between
going
Shin
over
and
him.
Lena. And the last 2 episodes are what I call part 3. It delivered one of the most satisfying and touching climax and conclusion to any anime I've
100%.
witnessed in recent memory. Episode 23 contains a ton of parallelism. The contrast between the first and final episode flips the narrative on Shin and Lena. Shin began the season in a cold, dark setting.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Lena lived in a world of luxury and privilege.
Yeah.
In the final episode, their roles are reversed.
Ooh.
Shin is living in comfort, surrounded by the warmth of his family, while Lena revisits her tattered and empty room.
Yo, I've
The
noticed
colors
that.
set the tone perfectly. Red and warm for Shin, while blue and ice cold for Lena. The constant contrast between both sides continues as both characters visit the graveyard. Shin's encounter with Nina was an interesting one. When the two first met, Nina was shy and wasn't able to express gratitude despite her brother's best efforts to teach her. In episode 23, Nina has finally overcome her shyness and expresses her appreciation by thanking Shin for leaving a memento of her brother. Another cool detail I missed was in the picture itself. Federica's fingers were covering the lenses.
Oh yeah, that was
while
the
taking
picture she took,
and it
right.
shows up in the photograph.
Oh
Back in the
wow, I
Republic, we see
remember
the
that.
devastation caused by the Legion invasion. Only 3 of Lena's squad members remain. The former Republic is now under the Gia Federacy's control, and the war crimes committed against the 86 are exposed to the public. Does anyone remember these 3
Yup.
despicable clowns?
Yup, hated these dudes.
Yep, that's right. The fates of
Oh,
the
that
3
was
drunken
them?
officers are also revealed in the final episode. Their discontent with equality is the ultimate form of irony, for they were the oppressors who upheld the abuse of the 86, and now they're the same people complaining about not being treated fairly. There is a rift in the sentiment within the Alban population. Some of its citizens are disgruntled with the new order established, while the others are hopeful it will bring a brighter future.
Yeah.
The original slogan is altered from "Welcome to the Republic of San Magnolia" to "The Republic of San Magnolia will come true," which means its citizens are optimistic that someday their nation will become a true republic.
Yeah.
Not just for people with silver hair, but for everyone.
Yo, I don't want to pause it so many times, but I do want to just say this. It is insane that like I remember like all these scenes like currently up to now, and it's insane seeing these scenes again because it's like I've noticed on what they were doing in that scene, but it's like you really don't think about it until someone either says it or you go back and try analyzing yourself. Dude, this is insane. This is why I like this man making these videos.
Back in the office, we reveal that Lena has been promoted 4 ranks, jumping from captain to colonel due to her critical role in defending the Republic. Another stark contrast can be found in the colonel's room. The last time we saw his office, it was fully decorated with
Oh wow, I didn't even notice
nationalistic
that actually.
pride, but now none of it can be found. The snake is clearly trying to disassociate himself with the previous regime.
Yeah, okay.
His shameless
Makes
efforts
sense.
to fake his new persona knows no bounds. The
That's why they were
pictures
looking at
on
him like
his
that the whole
desk
time.
are clearly staged, as you can see how little enthusiasm is displayed by the 86, who were probably forced to take a picture with him. In the
Yeah.
next picture, the wife closed her eyes to try to conceal her Alba identity, but it was all for nothing because the kid gave it away by opening his eyes anyway.
Wow. Dude, this is
Colonel
so
Lena receives a
sad.
report of her new squad with a bunch of names redacted. In her mind, it's probably a little bit sus, but they were just trying to surprise her later on. Let's take a closer look to what room she is in, and I think we can come to another conclusion. I remember seeing this pointy chair back when Lena was reporting to Jerome back in part 1. When the camera pans back to the same empty chair, I think this implies that Jerome Costal is either missing or killed in action.
Yeah. Dang.
During Lena's visit to the war memorial, when she looks up the names on the wall, she is unable to locate the names of the 5 missing Spearhead members.
Yeah.
Devastated, she whispers, "I won't forget," exactly 5 times. One iteration for each of the Spearhead
For
5,
each of them.
for they hold a special
Yup.
place in her heavy heart. Just like Shin before her, she leaves the box of the fallen 86 at the memorial. She has fulfilled the promise delegated by the Undertaker to remember and to honor them when they're gone. Shin and Lena's paths slowly converge as the episode draws to an end.
Yup. And it all connects.
There was another form of symbolism with the imagery of white birds during Shin's visit to the memorial. As Shin's monologue occurs, one lonesome bird flies out of the dark abyss and rejoins the other birds in flight. This is symbolic of Shin conquering his inner demons and is ready to rejoin his friends in their journey called life. Back in episode 9, when the Spearhead 5 made their march out of Republic territory, 5 birds took flight. With Lena joining their group, there are now a total of 6 birds in the sky. But before we go into the last segment, let's take a look at these final moments from Lena's perspective. The symbolism here is off the charts. Notice how the Alba are facing towards the audience while the 86 are facing forward, symbolizing cowardice from the Alba and their avoidance of the war, while the 86 are headstrong and moving forward.
Oh my god, this is
And
just
finally,
so
the Spearhead
dark.
5 are at the forefront of it all for obvious reasons. These last few seconds move by quickly, but they deliver a strong message. In my previous video, I talked about how there were exactly 86 days between the date of announcement to the date of the season finale. As suspicious as it sounds, it's actually canon. The Spearhead 5 made it home on December 24th, just in time for Christmas Eve. They later reunite with their commanding officer on March 20th the following year.
Okay.
86 days later.
Yeah, okay. We knew this.
Coincidence?
We knew. No. We knew this. No. 86 thought they were slick. We knew why they did that. Definitely not a coincidence. 100% purposely done. But you can't be mad at them for delaying it like that to line it up. And I enjoy that they did that because it goes with the story. Like, it's literally with the story. Like, the end date of the story is the same end date in real life.
Fido's montage sequence was one of my favorite moments in part 1. I'm really glad they brought it back for the finale. Fido's upgrades were briefly mentioned in episode 14, but in episode 23, we can see his hardware has been upgraded from grainy standard
I didn't even
definition
notice that.
to HD 1080p. The storytelling here is unique because the characters are using Fido as an outlet to interact with the audience directly. I want to mention Fido's point of view is in a classic 4:3 aspect ratio. Director Ishii's clever use of this framing creates a feeling of nostalgia, as well as putting more emphasis on
It
the
really
characters,
does.
and thus we feel much more connected to our beloved protagonists. Each character gets their own unique moment to shine. Raiden has a callback to when he first saw Lena's appearance back in episode 9. When Lena shared visuals with him through the raid device, he caught a glimpse of her reflection through her monitor. Anju is hopeful the black kitten is the same one they left at their old barracks. In their farewell letter, Anju and Kurina both asked Lena to take care of the kitten after they're gone. In another memory, we find out that Dio was the first one to find the kitten. It should be obvious why she is so attached to the black cat.
Makes 100% sense.
Oh no.
Here we
Anju's
go
pain
again.
corner
Oh
again, isn't it?
my god.
Theo shows off some impressive shipping fan arts. His sketches are now in color, thanks to the colored pencils given to him as a gift by Ernst. In Fido's first montage, there was a moment in time that Theo thought he was a goner. It was Theo's symbolic moment of giving up on life and his hobby by tossing his sketchbook into the flames. Contrast that dark moment with the present. Theo is now full of hope and is genuinely smiling for the very first time.
Actually, I've never really thought about it like that.
Is still in denial, but we'll talk about her later. On a side note, the direction from right to left has significant meaning and has reoccurred throughout the season. In Japanese literature, we read from right to left, a natural sign of progression and the very definition of moving forward. Throughout the show, we see many instances of movement from right to left. The theme of moving forward comes full circle in the next scene. As Lena makes her way towards Shin, we get a half second of their encounter from the previous episode. From Fido's point of view, we can see a beautiful transition of Lena walking in the same direction towards Shin.
What in the world?
Left. This is made possible because in Fido's memory, he was upside down in the previous episode.
Whoa.
This is why I'm such a big fan of the director and his excellent use of attention to detail. As Fido witnesses Shin and Lena's meeting, a piece of metal flashes, symbolic of the tears that will be brought to the audiences around the globe, because in this moment, we are all Fido. As the rest of the squad struggles to keep their composure, Theo stands out from the rest. He remains poised, having the utmost respect for Lena. A complete 180 from part 1. Theo began as Lena's biggest critic, but now he's become her second biggest fan. The reunion is done beautifully, but when you do a side-by-side comparison with episode 11, it becomes even more impactful. As Raiden calls her Baka, she immediately remembers him, because he was the one to call her dumb throughout the show. Next up, we can see how much Theo simps for Lena, because she also likes to draw. Theo manages to pick up the portraits, and we can see how much admiration he has for Lena.
Dude, that is crazy, man.
Since Kitty is the only remaining memento left of Daya, Anju is really grateful to Lena for caring for it in their absence. And lastly, Kurina does Kurina things, I guess. The railway that seemingly went on forever throughout the season is symbolic of Lena's long journey on the path.
Yeah, I've noticed they always show this railway.
Lena's been chasing after the Spearhead 5 for a very long time.
I noticed this.
As the rails finally reach the end, the six are reunited at long last.
Comes to an end.
Together, they will now march in unison towards a brighter future. As the episode comes to a close, their hands converge to create two shadows that look like
noticed this too.
As the title
Shout out to the people in the comments for that.
And there we have it. In a last-ditch effort to keep herself in the race, Kurina steps between Shin and Lena. Oh, Kurina, your ship never even left the harbor. But do not worry, Kurina fans. I'm sure she's still widely popular with the guys, due to her pair of shiny new boots. What did you think I was going to say?
We know what you was going to say.
Hiroyuki Sawano is renowned for his work as a music composer. His song names are often cryptic and full of mystery. When we take a look at disc 1 of the original 86 soundtrack, each song name has its own meaning. Some of these are obvious. 86 being 86. Re G10N is Legion. Others require some Japanese knowledge to decipher. For example, Jagger N010 is Jagannatto in Japanese. That's because another way to say 10 in Japanese is To. 4N is the perfect song name for Shin. The number 4 in Japanese can be pronounced either Shi or Yon. 4N is just that, a combination of Shi and N.
Dude, that is crazy how pre-planned this was.
Another song-related detail can be found on the album covers of Avid and Lila's. The first album cover from Avid and Hands Up to the Sky featured two boots walking down a similar path, but they are clearly in separate worlds. Part 1 of 86 featured Lena and Shin sharing the same goals and motivations, but they lived in two separate worlds, which is exactly what this album cover is depicting. In comparison, Lila's features two boots walking in unison underneath some lilac trees. Shin and Lena are finally reunited, and as the lyrics say, they now walk under the same sky. Let's dive deeper.
This is so good,
Reddit user Almond Mint shares some mind-blowing fan theories to the cryptic meaning behind Lila's. The acronym for Lila's stands for Lena is looking at Shin. The song is not about the first time they meet, but rather the first time they set eyes on each other. When you combine and mix both of their eye colors, you get the color of the lilac.
That's pretty
and
unique.
Finally, Reddit user CyberLegend132 shared insights to just how well timed the song lyrics are to the final sequence. Without knowing the lyrical context, the Western audience would never be able to fully appreciate the impeccable timing of these lyrics.
Yo, perfectly timed. What? Yo, this is so trippy on how perfectly they set this up, dude. Like, I've never seen an anime do it so perfectly like this. Wow, they went out their way.
I can't wait for next season. I have so many questions. We last saw Lena and Annette finally reconcile their friendship. I wonder what will happen when Annette finally reunites with Shin.
Oh, I didn't even think about
finally
that.
Get more screen time as second best girl. Will she ever find happiness? Or will they keep on making her
Which
suffer?
they like doing for some
Whatever
reason.
happened to Uncle
what
Jerome,
happened?
who's not really her uncle since they have different last names?
Which is weird.
Hello.
Hey, shout out to you, man. Shout out to Control Alt QQ. I'm about to watch these credits by myself. But before I do, literally shout out to Control Alt QQ because this man is insane. And there is a lot of things I really didn't even think about afterwards for 86 because if season 2 does come out, which supposedly it should, but we probably won't hear nothing for quite a while. But I never really thought about that. What happens if Annette unites with Shin? What is going to happen? Oh my god, that is going to do. Oh my god, this is about to be crazy. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I've never seen an anime like really perfectly sat there. Like they took their time. They didn't even have to do this. You guys gotta understand, they did not have to do this. This had to be perfectly timed, perfectly done, perfectly made. You couldn't mess up, you couldn't do nothing wrong. The fact that you have the music, the words playing at the same exact time of what's happening in the animation. This anime still somehow finds its way to blow my mind even after I've done watching it. There's a lot of things I did notice in here. Pretty much, actually, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I remember all of this. I remember completely every single thing that has happened in this episode, what he has shown in here. And I've actually pretty much noticed all of this, probably besides definitely the birds, the general's room, and the right to left sequence that they had in there, which is crazy that they even added that because it's like, dude, you have to literally have that pre-planned to do that. Like, I'm a loss for words, man. It just blows my mind because the sheer thought, the sheer amount of like pre-planned things you have to do before all this even happens is insane. Like they even had the album cover made for this. Like, dude, what anime is going to do that if they really cared? 86 is definitely one of my top animes out there. Season 2 is going to be insane. I can't even fathom it. Like, I don't even know how season 2 is even gonna work out. They did good with this one, I'll tell you that. With that being said, shout out to all OGs, like I said in the beginning of this video, who watched my 86 reactions. I have a playlist that I may also pop up in this video for you guys to click on. I really wasn't expecting when I first watched this anime to be like this good. When I first heard it that it was like really good, I really didn't believe people. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm just sitting here like, come on now. When we say anime's real good, it's better than this and that. 9 times out of 10, it's good, but it's not better than this. This anime right here, I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty much better than your stereotypical anime that tries to do details and symbolisms, but they also don't go as far as what 86 did here. Like, that is insane. But with that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Shout out to Control Alt QQ, link in the description down below for his original video. It's your favorite anime protagonist, it's just MB, signing off.